President Obama must decide in the coming weeks whether to increase U.S. troop strength from the currently committed 68,000 to an additional, as yet undetermined, number of soldiers in Afghanistan. For the children of Afghanistan who have no voice in the violence of war, an increase in U.S. troop strength can only mean death to some, lifelong debilitating injuries to others, and, for the many, a further breakdown of their families through social upheaval. We have heard over and over again that it is vital that we and other foreign forces in Afghanistan win the hearts and minds of the Afghan people, and yet the opposite is happening, and this downhill slide will only continue if more and more troops are deployed in Afghanistan. The war in Afghanistan will not be won by counting the numbers of dead militants, but rather this war is being lost as the number of dead Afghan civilians, including children, continues to increase. In the last several weeks, events have only complicated the role of the military in Afghanistan and the ability of the U.S. or any foreign government to win the hearts and minds of the people of Afghanistan. Let's look at 3 events. In a story reported by various news sources dated September the 7th, U.S. troops stormed an Afghanistan hospital, tying up hospital guards and entering women's wards in violation of local Islamic customs. A U.S. military spokeswoman confirmed that the hospital was searched, but had no other details. September the 5th. Though General McChrystal, commander of all U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan, has tightened rules on airstrikes, the NATO bombing of 2 fuel tankers in northern Afghanistan on September the 5th killed scores of civilians, making enemies of the very people American commanders are trying to sway. How many more hearts and minds of the Afghan people were lost on that day, further diminishing public support for the multinational mission in Afghanistan. September the 2nd. It is now public knowledge that civilian contractors working for the American military outnumber uniformed troops in Afghanistan. Importantly, these private contractors are subject to lines of authority that are less clear-cut than they are for their military colleagues. On September the 2nd, a story emerged about private contractors who were hired to guard the U.S. Embassy in Kabul, where nearly 1,000 U.S. diplomats, staff, and Afghan nationals work. These private contractors came under intense scrutiny for allegations of lewd behavior and sexual misconduct. Photographs of carousing contract employees instantly could be seen worldwide on the internet. Winning hearts and minds of the Afghan people and others in the Islamic world, I doubt it. These 3 incidents point to some of the issues facing the U.S. and NATO forces as they continue trying to win over the Afghan people. President Obama, the Children's Theater for Peace, urges you not to increase the number of U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Doing so will only kill and maim more civilians, more children in this tragic war.